So hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to discuss a few exercise questions from the chapter Mechanical Properties of Solids. Okay, so the first question is question number 9.1. The question says a steel wire of length 4.7 meter and cross-sectional area 3 into 10 power minus 5 meters square stretches by the same amount as copper of length 3.5 meter and cross-sectional area 4 into 10 power minus 5 meters square under a given load. So what is the ratio of Young's modulus of the steel to that of copper? Okay, now basically this is a simple question, direct formula question, but even then how to approach this question number 9.1. See, basically we need to understand to solve such question we need to know the formula. That is the foremost requirement. Okay, so Young's modulus is longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. Okay, so that is equal to FL by A delta L. Okay, now in this question it is given that both the wires, the length and cross-sectional area is given. Okay, stretches by the same amount. Okay, so stretches by the same amount means this quantity delta L, it is same for both. Okay, so I can write from this, I can write delta L is equal to FL by YA. Okay, now it is given that for steel and copper wire this is same, so delta L is same. Delta L of steel is equal to delta L of copper. Okay, so delta L of steel means force, length of steel wire, Young's modulus of steel wire, area of steel wire is equal to force, length of copper wire, Young's modulus of copper wire, area of copper wire. Now both sides I have written F because it is given that both the wires are stretched under a given load. Okay, so under a given load means load given to both the wires is same. So find the ratio of the Young's modulus. So we need to, from this expression I need to find the value of Ys by Yc. Okay, Young's modulus of steel to that of copper. So Ys by Yc, so that is equal to Ys by Yc is equal to AC by AS, and then this is LS by LC. So now these values are already given in the question. Okay, so if you substitute this, you will get this ratio to be equal to 1.79, that is approximately equal to 1.8. Okay, so this is the final answer. Okay, next question number 9.2. You are given a graph, and from the graph it is asked to find the Young's modulus. Okay, now basically see Young's modulus, it is a ratio of longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. Okay, so the graph is drawn between stress and strain. Okay, and strain being dimensionless, it has no unit, but strain, this y-axis, it is given to be in the numbers are multiplied by 10 power 6 Newton per meter square. Okay, now if you see the graph clearly, then you will see that this graph is going like this straight line. So Young's modulus is stress by strain, so that means we need to find the slope of the graph. Okay, slope of this graph will give the Young's modulus. Okay, so here you have 150 in the graph. If you observe carefully, 150, and the equivalent point along x-axis it is 0.002. Okay, so from that we can calculate the slope, because this is theta, so slope it is equal to tan theta, it is equal to perpendicular by base, so that is 150. This is 150 into 10 power 6, so into 10 power 6 divided by 0.002. Okay, so this is equal to the Young's modulus. Okay, so if you simplify this, it is 75 into 10 power 9 Newton per meter square. Okay, now next it is asked like what is the yield strength. Okay, now yield strength represents the bump in the graph. Okay, that is the maximum stress, so that corresponds to around 300 yield strength Ys, that is corresponds to around 300. From the graph you can see It is 300 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter square. Okay. So that is the yield strength. Okay. So that is 9.2. Now again 9.3 is also another question which is based on a graph. Basically two graphs are given and you are asked to compare which material has greater Young's modulus. So again, as we have seen, Young's modulus is the slope. It is equal to slope of the graph, stress strain graph. Stress strain graph. Okay. Now as you can see, for graph A the slope is more as compared to B. So that means Young's modulus of A, it will be greater than Young's modulus of B. Okay. Then the second question is which of the two is a stronger material. So stronger means, see, for this graph, see, this point is the breaking point. This point is the breaking point. Okay, in the stress strain graph, this point represents the breaking point. So if this point is far away from this point, elastic limit, that means the material is strong. If this point is very close to this, suppose graph as in this case, as in the for material B, the stress versus strain. So the graph is like this. So this breaking point is very close to this point. So that means this point will break, this material will break very easily. So therefore material A is more stronger. Okay. Now question number 9.4 is a reasoning type question. You are asked the reason, true or false, and the reason. Like Young's modulus of rubber is greater than that of steel. See, Young's modulus, it is FL by A delta L. Okay. So that means if for the same load is applied, suppose you have one, suppose this is steel and this is rubber. Okay. Now if same load is applied, suppose they have same length, okay, same area, then same load is applied, then elongation in the rubber will be far greater than that in steel. This will elongate to suppose this level from this point to this point. Steel will elongate, okay, almost this one. Okay, this is the elongation in steel, this is the elongation in rubber. So as you can see, if these quantities are constant, then Young's modulus, it is inversely proportional to delta L. So that means for same load, if delta L is more, Young's modulus will be less. So that means for, see here extension, delta L is more, here steel, delta L is less. So that means Young's modulus of steel will be greater than Young's modulus of rubber. So that means steel will be more elastic than rubber. Okay. The stretching of a coil is determined by shear modulus. Okay. Now see, this is the coil. This is how the coil looks. Now if it is stretched by applying a force, see, it becomes like this. So basically here, the length is not changing. It appears that the length is changing, but it is not the length that is changing. As you can see, the separation between the turns, adjacent turns is changing. So basically what is happening is the shape is changing. Okay, shape is changing. Now corresponding to shape change, we have shear modulus, not the Young's modulus. Okay, so this is a true statement. 9.4b, it is a true statement. Okay. Now going to question number 9.5. 9.5. See, you have a load. This is 4 kg. This is 6 kg. Okay. So this is steel. This is brass. Length is given. This is 1.5 meter. This is 1 meter. Okay. Diameter, they both are of same diameter. Diameter is 0.25 centimeter. Okay. Compute the elongation of steel and brass wires. Elongation, you have to find the elongation. Okay. See, first of all, the basic formula is Y is equal to FL by A delta L, where delta L is, this is the elongation. This is the elongation. So delta L is equal to FL by YA. Okay. Now basically, to solve this question, you need the value of steel, Young's modulus of steel and Young's modulus of brass. Brass is 10 power 11 Newton per meter square. For steel, it is 2 into 10 power 11 Newton per meter square. Okay. So Young's modulus, this value is known, length is known, diameter is known. From diameter, how to calculate the area? Area is pi r square, so that is equal to pi d square by 4, because r is equal to d by 2, radius equal to half the diameter. Okay, so from this formula you can calculate the area, cross section area. Okay, so to calculate the elongation you need these values. L is required, L is given, length is given, Young's modulus is given, area we can calculate. Force. Okay, how to take the value of force? Now for this brass wire, see, this brass wire is pulled by this load 6 kg. So this is 6g mg. Mass is 6 kg. So that means force on the brass wire, it will be equal to 6 into 10. So that is equal to 60 Newton. This is the force on brass wire. Okay. Similarly, when you are calculating force on steel wire, so this steel wire, it is supporting this load, it is also supporting this load. So that means this wire is pulled by these two weights. So force acting on steel wire is mass will be 4 plus 6, 10. So 10 into 10, so that is equal to 100 Newton. Okay, so to calculate the elongation, so elongation in steel, it will be Fs L divided by Young's modulus of steel area. Similarly, elongation of brass, it will be force on brass, length divided by elongation, Young's modulus of brass into area. Okay, area is this quantity. So you just have to substitute the values and get the final result. Okay, so I hope this is clear. The main concept is, see, this wire is pulled by this load and this wire is pulled by this load and this load. Okay, now next is question number 9.6. Now you have a cube of 10 centimeter size. Okay, so this is a wall and a cube is attached to it. Okay, so each side measuring 10 centimeter. One of the faces is firmly fixed on a vertical wall, and a mass of 100 kg is then attached to the opposite face of the cube. So here, if force mass of 100 kg is attached, 100 kg. Okay, the shear modulus, it is given to be shear modulus eta. It is 25 gigapascal, so 25 into 10 power 9 Pascal. Pascal and Newton per meter square are same. Okay, so this is eta, and we are asked to find the vertical deflection. Okay, what do you mean by vertical deflection? See, when this tangential force acts, so this part is fixed. So this part will move down relative to this part because of action of this force. Okay, so this force will move this side a bit lower. So this cube will become, it will, suppose this is the deformation. Okay, I have exaggerated the deformation. So this is theta. So this is x. So this end has moved through distance x. This distance is L. L is the length of each side, that is already given. Okay. Achha. Now eta is, how do you define shear modulus? Shear modulus eta, it is equal to F by A divided by shear strain. Shear strain is given by this angle theta, where theta is equal to angle equal to arc length by radius, so x by L. Okay. Achha. From this we can get the value of theta as F by A divided by eta. Okay, force is 100 kg, so 100 kg means 100 into g, g is 10, divided by area. So length of each side is how much? 10 centimeter, so that is 0.1 square. Okay, area. Eta is this quantity, 25 into 10 power 9. Okay, so on simplification, if you simplify these things, you will get theta is equal to 4 into 10 power minus 6 radian. 4 into 10 power minus 6 radian. Okay, so that is the angle through which the side has moved. But in the question they have asked, okay, what is the vertical deflection of this face? So vertical deflection means this distance x. So from this we can get the value of x as theta into L. So x is equal to, theta is this quantity, 4 into 10 power minus 6 into 0.1 centimeter into meter. 0.1 is 10 power minus 1. So x is equal to 4 into 10 power minus 7, okay, meter. So this will be the vertical deflection. Okay, so I hope this concept is also clear.